Hello, Elly here from Thankful Flow Yoga. Thank you for joining me today for another YouTube flow. Now this practice is going to be a gentle heart opening flow, so suitable for all different levels, and there'll be different options as always throughout. Just bearing in mind this is a shorter practice, so any kind of warm up that you could do beforehand as well would always be great. But do grab any blocks or props, anything you need to support you in your practice. And I'm going to start today kneeling, but if kneeling is not comfortable for you, bring your legs out in front. You can come into cross-legged, come into a position that's comfortable for you. And we'll close off the eyes to ground into the clasp. Bring one hand to the chest, one hand to the belly. You could take a steady gaze instead out in front of you if you prefer. Notice the connection between your hands and your body. Maybe you can notice the chest and the belly rise and fall with your breath. And starting from the crown of your head, relax through all the muscles in your face, behind your eyes, your cheeks, your jaw. Relax through your neck, your shoulders. Allow your shoulder blades to sink down your back. Take a moment to check in with your breath, your body, and your mind. Observing yourself from a place of non-judgment, accepting the as-is of the body that you're in today, how you're feeling today. Open the eyes back up if you had them closed and release the hands. Take the right hand to the right side. Inhale, lift, grow the spine tall and come into a stretch. Over to the right, left side body opening up. And start to sweep the left hand down to the mat. Inhale, grow the spine tall, reach the right arm up. And exhale, come into a stretch over to the left side, right side body opening. Exhale, float the right arm down. Bring the left hand to the right knee. Right hand comes out behind you into a twist. Exhale as you come into the twist. Gaze following, coming over the right shoulder or in that direction. Slowly start to release, bring the right hand to the left knee, left hand comes out behind you. Inhale, lift up and out first, then on the exhale, come into a twist over to the left. Allow the gaze to follow, coming over the left shoulder. And slowly start to release from the twist. I'm going to bring the hands behind the back and either interlace the fingers, or if that feels too strong for you, maybe you can bring the hands to your elbows behind the back. Or perhaps even just be reaching the fingertips out behind you And what we're trying to get is an opening across the chest, shining the heart forwards here. Keep the ribs tucked in. So keep some light engagement through the core, keeping the root nice and centered. And then bring the hands away and start to bring the hands forward, interlace the hands and start to round through the spine. You could drop the head down here and keep the belly button tucked in towards the spine. Keep the tailbone tucked in, rounding through the spine. And release, come back to neutral. Make your way into your tabletop position, all fours position on your mat. And from here, start to walk the hands out in front of you, but keep your hips above your knees, come into your puppy pose, and melt the forehead and the heart down to the mat, opening up through the shoulders, the upper back. And you can come onto the forearms here if that feels better for you to modify. Keep some light engagement through the core. Slowly start coming out of your puppy. Walk your hands back in to center. And then from here, we're going to start to bring this left foot through between the hands. Make your way into a low lunge. Doesn't matter if you need to come into this low lunge differently from how I just did it. That's not going to be suitable for all of us. So make your way into low lunge however you need to. And if you have your blocks or books to hand, you can always place these framing the front foot to support you in your low lunge here. So check that the front knee is in line with the ankle. And option to keep the hands on some blocks, or you can bring the hands away. And we want this left thigh, left glute to be engaged and the core is engaged here. And then option to inhale, sweep the arms up to the sky and lift your ribs away from your hips. Exhale, float the hands down. Take the interlace behind the back, or maybe you're taking hands to the elbows. Maybe you're reaching the fingertips out behind you. Getting an opening across the chest, shining the heart forwards. But keep lifting up from the waist. So we want this length coming through the spine first as we get a heart opening here. So maybe on your inhales, as you lift up and out, maybe you're finding an opening and drawing those hands down behind you as you open through the heart. Maybe your gaze is coming up to the ceiling. But keep making sure that you're getting the space through the spine first. And start to release the hands. And bring them down to blocks or the mat. Tuck this right toe under, toes, plural, and engage through the back leg and make your way to the high lunge. I'm going to do the same sequence with the arms now. So inhale, sweep the fingertips up to the sky. Lift the ribs away from the hips, create space and length. Exhale, float the hands down. Maybe you're reaching the fingertips out behind you. Maybe you're taking the interlace. Maybe you're taking your elbows. Find space across the chest. Opening here through the shoulders. And inhale, maybe you're finding a little heart lift. But make sure to find the space and the length coming up and out of the waist first. Exhale. Bring the hands back down to the mat, drop the back knee down. Start to release that left leg. Come back to tabletop. And we'll sit the hips back, melt the chest and the forehead down for a child's pose. Close off the eyes for a moment and pause here. Notice your breath. Notice what's alive in the body. Start to come back towards your tabletop position. We'll start to come into low lunge on the other side. So sweep this right foot through. Again, it doesn't matter how you get here. And remember, you can cushion under this back leg if that knee's feeling sensitive. Using your blocks perhaps to frame this front right foot. You could be working here in your low lunge. Maybe you're taking the hands away. Either way, we want this right thigh engaged, right glutes engaged, core strong. Inhale, reach the fingertips to the sky, lift the ribs away from the hips. Exhale, float the hands down. Maybe you're reaching the fingertips out behind you. Maybe you're taking the interlace. Open across the chest. Inhale, lift up and out of the waist. And maybe those hands are sliding down and you're getting a little heart lift here, a very slight back bend. Maybe the gaze is coming up towards the ceiling as you open. Come to a place that feels right for you. Start to come out, release the fingertips. Maybe you're planting your hands on blocks here. Maybe they're coming to the mat. And tuck the left toes under. Engage through the left leg and start to come into a high lunge. If this is feeling too strong, you can stay in your low lunge and we work through the sequence again here with the arms. So inhale, reach the fingertips up to the sky, lift the ribs away from the hips. Exhale, float the hands down behind you. Maybe you take the interlace, open across the chest. And then we're inhaling, lifting up and out of the waist, and maybe finding a small heart opening, spinal extension here. Keep breathing. And start to release the hands, floating back down to the mat. Drop the left knee back down. Slide the left foot back. And this time, from your tabletop position, we're going to bend through the elbows and lower the body down to the front. So you're lying on your belly. You can bring your hands out, your elbows out to the side and rest your head on your hands here. Close off the eyes. And then on your next inhale, place the palms of your hands on the mat. Roll your shoulders and lift the chest coming into a cobra. Engage through the lower body. Exhale, melt the chest back down. Inhale, roll the shoulders, lift the chest again, come into Sphinx. Elbows underneath the shoulders, palms of the hands flat on the ground. The lower body's engaged, gaze coming forwards. Exhale, lower down to the mat. Inhale. Start to bring the hands to the side of the body, arms to the side. Lift the chest away this time, lift the arms away, half locust. Legs are still connected to the mat at this point, but they're engaged. Keep breathing. Exhale. Melt the chest back down, elbows out to the side, rest your head on your hands. We'll pause for a couple of moments. You can close off the eyes here. And then start to open the eyes back up, and I want you to bend the legs. So maybe your feet are coming to about here. That's absolutely fine. Maybe as you bring your hands out behind you, maybe your hands are reaching your feet. If they're not, then that doesn't matter. You can have the feet released and have the arms here. And what we're going to do is we're going to work either into a half bow or a modified bow pose. So on your inhale, you're lifting the chest away and you're lifting the hands away, and maybe you're working here. Maybe you're bringing the legs ever so slightly away from the mat, but you don't have to have your hands on the feet. Or if you do have your hands connected to the feet, we're lifting away, creating this bow position, opening across the chest and the heart, and really pressing the feet into the hands, the hand into the feet, squeezing the glutes, squeezing the legs. Keep breathing, relax the face and the jaw. Maybe try and crack a smile. I know I'm always saying this. And release the whole body. Well done. Release the legs. Elbows come back out to the side. Rest the head. Take some deep breaths. Now we're going to come into Shavasana. So if you're enjoying this position lying on your belly, you're really finding that this is restorative for you, then you could stay here today. Or if you would prefer to be lying on your back, then you absolutely can. Just make your way over to your back now if that's what you would prefer. Coming into a place of stillness. Observing your thoughts, coming back to the breath. Notice which parts of your body are connected to the mat. Notice which parts that are not. And when you're ready, start bringing yourself back to a seated position on your mat. Remembering, as always, if you would like to stay in your Shavasana longer, then please do. If you're ready to come out of the practice, find your comfortable seated position, and then you can slowly start to open the eyes. And we'll close the practice with a releasing breath. So I invite you to inhale through your nose and we'll exhale out through the mouth, and I'll count for 3 counts here. So we'll do 2 rounds. So inhale for 1, 2, 3. Exhale, breathe out. Inhale for 1, 2, 3. Exhale, breathe out. Thank you so much for being here and practicing with me. I hope you enjoyed this heart-opening practice. It can be really a really great feeling afterwards, but also can be quite powerful. So just give yourself a bit of time to sit with anything that comes up. And as always, there are some really juicy heart-opening and more in-depth practices on my membership, and that I do on my Sunday live Zoom classes. So do have a look, check out my website if you might be interested in that. And I can't wait to see you for another practice very soon.